What are human rights? The concept of rights was first established in the principles of natural law or natural justice. Human rights are fundamental entitlements inherent to every individual simply by virtue of their humanity. Fundamental human rights are the rights that are enshrined in the Constitution, thereby safeguarded and assured. The fundamental human rights are found in Chapter 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. The right to life is contained in Section 33 of the Constitution. The right to life is the most fundamental of all rights, as it serves as the basis for all other rights. Without the right to life, the pursuit of any other right becomes impossible. Only natural persons enjoy the right to life. When does personhood begin under Nigerian law? In accordance with Section 307 of the Criminal Code, an individual is considered a human being regardless of whether the umbilical cord has been severed once it has emerged from its mother's body. Abortion, however, remains illegal in Nigeria under the Criminal Code and is only legally permissible when the mother's life is at risk. Section 33 of the Constitution provides that every person has a right to life, and no one shall be deprived intentionally of his life. There exist certain exceptions to the enforcement of this right, as stipulated by the Constitution. Exceptions to the right to life. In the execution of the sentence of a court in respect of a criminal offense of which he has been found guilty. In Nigeria, 5 offenses are punishable by death, including murder, treason, treachery, armed robbery, and presiding at an unlawful trial by ordeal resulting in death. Pregnant women's sentences are suspended until they give birth, and those under 17 years old at the time of the offense cannot be sentenced to death. Nazir Bello v. Oyo State. In this case, the importance of the right to life was emphasized by the court. The plaintiff's death sentence for armed robbery was pending appeal when he was executed, which the Supreme Court deemed unconstitutional and a violation of his right to life and fair hearing under Sections 33 and 36 of the Nigerian Constitution. In essence, if an individual has been given a death sentence but decides to appeal, it's imperative that the appeal be heard before the execution of the sentence. Failure to do so would be a violation of their fundamental right to life. The next exception to the right to life falls under the defense of self, another, and property. A person's death resulting from the use of force that is reasonably necessary for defending themselves or others from unlawful violence or protecting property, as permitted by law, does not constitute a violation of their right to life. Defense of self or another. In order to claim this defense, the following must be proved. There must have been an unlawful assault against the defendant. The unlawful assault must have been unprovoked. There must be a reasonable apprehension of death or grievous bodily harm. The force used against the defendant is reasonably necessary to make effectual defense against the assault. This means that defendants cannot use self-defense as a justification for physically assaulting a police officer during a lawful arrest. If the defendant provoked the other party to assault them by any means, they are not entitled to plead self-defense. 3. Whatever force used in defending must be proportional to the force used by the other party. You can't use a machete to slash a person who attacked you with a stick. In the case of Emmanuel Ubani v. State, the defendant utilized a machete to strike the victim's neck as they attempted to flee on a bicycle. Despite the defendant's plea of self-defense, the court ruled against it, as there was no reasonable apprehension of fear by the defendant. A similar case, Odu v. State, involved the defendant stabbing an unarmed victim with a knife. In this instance, the court also rejected the plea of self-defense. Defense of property. A person who is lawfully in possession or control of a property may use reasonable force to prevent others from wrongfully entering or to remove someone who wrongfully remains without causing harm. Exception to the right to life. 3. For the purpose of effecting lawful arrest or to prevent the escape of lawfully detained, police officers can use force to make a lawful arrest of a person committing a felony, including deadly force if necessary to prevent escape and the officer's life is in danger. However, shooting without any danger would be considered manslaughter. The reasonableness of the force used is judged objectively, as illustrated in the case of R.V. Endo, where killing an escaping felon was deemed murder based on the circumstances. 4. For the purpose of suppressing a riot, insurrection, or mutiny according to the law, force necessary to suppress a riot can be used, and it should be proportionate to the danger posed by the riot. The use of force can be carried out by a peace officer or anyone acting under their direction, or by anyone who believes that serious harm will result from the riot. In our next class, we will begin the right to the dignity of a human person. Don't forget to like and subscribe.